Emotional attachment is one of the strongest forces shaping our lives. It ties us to people, memories, and illusions that often no longer benefit us, or worse, cause us harm. Carl Jung taught that attachment is not just an emotional bond, but a projection of our psyche. We don't cling to people because we truly need them, but because they reflect hidden aspects of ourselves. When we can't let go of someone who doesn't love us, we're actually rejecting part of ourselves. Jung found that the human psyche consists of many facets, some of which remain in the shadow. This shadow holds our repressed emotions, desires, and traumas, and it's what keeps us in unfulfilling relationships. It's not the person themselves that binds us, but the part of ourselves we project onto them. When we love someone who doesn't love us back, we're seeking external validation for something we haven't found within ourselves. This is the trap of attachment. It tricks us into thinking our happiness depends on someone else, while in reality, we're seeking integration of our own psyche. Letting go of someone who doesn't love us is not just about detachment. It's a profound journey of self-discovery. It's not about forgetting the person or suppressing pain, but understanding why that connection was so significant. Jung stated that what we deny within ourselves appears externally as destiny. If we repeatedly end up in unreciprocated relationships, it's a manifestation of something deeper, a lesson our psyche wants to teach us. It might stem from a childhood wound, a fear of loneliness, or a limiting belief about our worth. Until we confront that shadow, we'll keep attracting the same patterns. This is where Jung's method for emotionally detaching becomes crucial. The first step is recognizing the projection. Ask yourself, what part of myself am I seeing in this person? Maybe you're drawn to their confidence, independence, or passion for life. Instead of seeing these qualities as external, Jung invites you to integrate them within yourself. If you're attached to someone because you admire their self-assurance, perhaps it's time to build your own confidence. If you can't let go because they make you feel special, ask why you can't give that love to yourself. The second step is to confront the shadow. Jung emphasized that what we don't face within our psyche becomes our fate. If you always end up feeling undervalued in relationships, there might be a part of you that believes you don't deserve more. Perhaps that belief comes from a childhood experience, a distant parent, or a past love that left deep wounds. But the past doesn't have to define you. True transformation happens when you dare to look inward and heal those wounds instead of expecting someone else to do it for you. The third step is individuation. Carl Jung described individuation as the process of becoming your true self beyond others' expectations. It is a profound journey of self-discovery requiring you to release anything not aligned with your essence. Part of this process involves letting go of people who do not reciprocate your love. Not because you are unworthy of love, but because their path is simply different from yours. Trying to force a connection where there is no reciprocity is like trying to fit a puzzle piece where it doesn't belong. Individuation means understanding that some people enter our lives only for a season, serving as teachers who reveal the lessons we need to learn. True detachment is not an act of coldness or indifference, but an act of deep understanding. You come to realize that another person is not the source of your happiness, but a mirror reflecting something within you that needs integration. True love is not about dependency. It is about freedom. Letting go is not about losing. It is about creating space for something more aligned with your true self. At this point, many people fear the emptiness that comes with detachment. However, Jung taught that emptiness is not to be feared, but a sacred space where new things can take root and flourish. When you release a relationship that doesn't truly belong to you, what you are doing is opening yourself to the possibility of something greater. But the universe cannot bring you something new if you are still clinging to the old. It is in that very emptiness where true transformation occurs. This is where you rediscover yourself, not as someone seeking completion in another, but as someone who is already whole. And then something magical happens. When you stop seeking love outside of yourself, you begin to radiate love from within. You no longer need external validation because you recognize your own worth. You no longer hold on to one-sided relationships because you value your peace more than the exhausting struggle to be seen. And in that moment, the right people begin to arrive. People who love you for who you truly are, not for what you provide or how you fit into their narrative. Emotional detachment doesn't mean ceasing to love. It means learning to love without fear, without expectations, and without chains. It is realizing that love is not possession, but freedom. When you understand this, you see that you never truly lost anything. You only released what was never truly yours to begin with. When Jung talked about transforming the psyche, he meant a profound metamorphosis, not just a superficial change. Letting go goes beyond ending a relationship. It's about being reborn as a more conscious, stronger, and aligned version of yourself. There are no shortcuts in this journey. Emotional detachment is an internal path requiring courage, patience, and self-compassion. But in the end, it's worth it. By releasing what doesn't belong to you, you find something far more valuable, yourself. As you begin to let go, you realize attachment was never truly love. It was a form of fear of being alone, fear of inadequacy, fear of losing something that was never yours. Jung teaches us that fear is just an illusion, a barrier to accessing our true potential. When you confront that fear and look beyond it, something changes within you. You find that solitude isn't a punishment, but an opportunity to reconnect with yourself. You realize that the absence of another doesn't create a void, but makes space for something better. Attachment makes us dependent on something external for a sense of completeness. When that disappears, we feel something is missing. But Jung reminds us that nothing external can provide what we truly seek. Everything you need, peace, love, security, happiness, is already within you. When you truly grasp this, not just hear it, but deeply feel it, detachment becomes a natural outcome. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or erasing memories. It means accepting what was, learning the lesson, and moving forward. Carl Jung said the unconscious speaks to us through symbols and experiences, and every relationship reflects something deeper within us. Each person in our life carries meaning, a lesson, a mirror of our inner world. If someone comes and goes, it's not a mistake or a loss. It's an experience meant to teach us something fundamental about ourselves. It might reveal what you truly desire or highlight boundaries you're no longer willing to compromise. It could force you to confront a shadow aspect of yourself that needed integration for growth. Once the lesson is learned, there's no need to stay bound to the past. Problems arise when we get trapped in pain nostalgia, and the endless loop of, what if I had done things differently? Jung reminds us the past cannot be changed, only understood. Once you truly understand it, you free yourself from it. There is no greater act of self-love than letting go of what no longer resonates with you. By doing so, you are choosing yourself. You are telling the universe that you deserve something that nurtures your growth, brings you peace, and doesn't require force or struggle. However, your mind will resist. It will insist you can't let go, that you need that person, and without them, nothing will be the same. But ask yourself, do you feel love or is it dependence? Because love doesn't hurt. Love doesn't make you feel less. Love doesn't trap you in an endless cycle of waiting for something that may never come. If there's pain, it indicates a wound still needing healing, and that healing won't come from outside. It can only come from within. When you decide to let go, you start seeing life from a new perspective. You realize people don't enter your life randomly. They arrive as reflections of something within you, and when a relationship ends, it's not the end. It's the beginning of a new cycle. But for a new cycle to truly begin, you must be willing to close the previous one, not with resentment, not with sorrow, but with gratitude. Gratitude for what was, for what you learned, for the growth you experienced. In the end, everyone who crosses your path leaves something behind, even if it's just a lesson in what you no longer wish to repeat. True freedom isn't about having no attachments at all, but about loving without possession, giving without expectation, and being present without dependence. It's understanding you can share your life with someone without making them the absolute center of your existence. It's realizing love is not a chain. It is a state of being. When you reach this level of understanding and stop searching outside for what has always been within you, you discover the person you needed most was always yourself. There are no shortcuts to detachment, no quick fixes to release the past. It's a deep transformation process, facing yourself and questioning lifelong beliefs. But once you cross that barrier, nothing is ever the same again. You stop suffering over what's gone and start trusting in what's yet to come. You stop seeking love in others and begin cultivating it within yourself. In that moment, without effort or force, the right people begin to enter your life, not because you need them, but because you are finally in a place of completeness. Detachment is not a rejection of love. It is a higher form of experiencing it. It is love without fear, without demands, without unrealistic expectations. It is loving in a way that liberates rather than binds you. It is understanding that no one belongs to you and you don't belong to anyone. When you finally grasp this truth, you realize that you never truly lost anything. You were just preparing to receive something greater. As you begin to let go, your mind will cling to memories, unfulfilled promises, and moments when everything felt perfect. It's human nature to hold on to the familiar, even if it brings pain. But true freedom comes when you understand that letting go is not losing. It's making room for something new and better, aligned with who you are becoming. In that space, love, in its purest form, will find you. Jung explained that the unconscious doesn't distinguish between what helps and what harms us. It just seeks to repeat patterns. If you've believed love means sacrifice, happiness depends on someone else, or that you're incomplete without them, your mind will try to keep you trapped in that belief. Emotional detachment isn't just about letting go of a person. It's about unlearning the limiting beliefs that have controlled your life. It's not their absence that hurts, but the story you created about what they meant to you. Maybe you thought they were your only chance at love, or that happiness would be impossible without them. But these are illusions from a mind that hasn't discovered its freedom. Attachment isn't love. It's emotional dependency, born from the belief that something external completes us. Jung shows us real love isn't a pursuit. It's a state of being. You can't find outside what you haven't cultivated within yourself. Instead of focusing on what you lost, ask yourself, what part of me needs healing? The pain doesn't come from the person who left, but from a part of your psyche you haven't integrated, like feelings of emptiness, anxiety, or fear of being alone. None of that is about the other person. It's about you. Letting go of someone who doesn't love you isn't an act of loss. It's an act of self-love. It's affirming that you deserve more, that your energy is valuable, and you don't need to beg for affection. This isn't about ignoring the pain or pretending you don't care. It's about accepting it as part of the process. Jung said, the only way to transcend suffering is to go through it. Yes, it hurts at first because you're breaking a pattern, and your mind was used to depending on that person. But each day as you grow, you move closer to true freedom. Something profound happens when you allow yourself to let go. It's as if the weight you've carried for so long begins to fade. Clarity comes, answers appear, and you realize something you couldn't see before. Peace isn't found in holding on, it's in letting go. In that moment, you start living from your true self, free from fear, burdens, and emotional chains tying you to the past. By letting go, you free yourself. You stop waiting for messages, analyzing every detail, and wondering what you did wrong. You understand that love isn't begged for, respect isn't demanded, and connection isn't forced. Most importantly, you realize the most important person in your life has always been you. This doesn't mean you'll never love again, but next time, you'll love from a different place, not from need, but from wholeness, not from fear of loss, but from certainty that everything that comes and goes is part of your evolution. True detachment is an internal transformation. It's a journey where you stop being who you were and become who you were always meant to be. On this journey, every tear, every moment of solitude, every fading memory shows you're moving forward. It's not an easy path, but it's the only one leading to real freedom. When you reach the other side and look back at your growth, you'll understand you never really lost anything. You found yourself. When you finally let go, you realize true love was never about holding on to someone else, but about the relationship with yourself. You learn you don't need anyone's validation to feel complete. Happiness isn't found in another person, but in how you connect with your essence. And in that moment, everything changes. You start seeing life from a new perspective, not from lack, but from abundance. Not from fear of losing, but from confidence that everything meant for you will arrive at the right time. Letting go of someone who doesn't love us is one of the hardest things we can do, but also one of the most liberating. It's not just about releasing a person, it's about reclaiming ourselves. It's about understanding that the love we seek externally is truly fulfilled when we find it within. The journey isn't easy, but it's worth it, because in the end, the most important relationship is the one we have with ourselves. According to Jung, true healing isn't just about letting go, it's about integration. It's not about erasing memories or suppressing emotions, but accepting what has been lived, embracing it with gratitude, and moving forward with renewed consciousness. Every person who crosses your path leaves a lesson. Every relationship that ends offers an opportunity for growth. Every painful moment signals an awakening from within. When you grasp this, anguish turns into peace, attachment into freedom, and suffering into wisdom. This is the great paradox of love. It is only when you stop seeking it out of a sense of lack that it truly comes to you in its purest form. When you quit searching for someone to complete you and no longer rely on a relationship for self-worth, that's when you start attracting genuine connections, relationships built on resonance, not necessity. These are bonds where love is free, not a chain, and where presence is a choice, not an obligation. Yet this kind of love and connection can only emerge when you have found peace within yourself, healed past wounds, and let go of what no longer serves you. This journey isn't easy, but it's the only one truly worth taking. In the end, life is not about clinging to what causes pain, but about flowing with what helps you grow. It's not about being stuck in past nostalgia, but about embracing the infinite possibilities of the future. It's not about waiting for someone else to choose you, but about choosing yourself repeatedly, without hesitation, fear, or guilt. If this message resonated with you, if these words were exactly what you needed to hear, I invite you to do something simple, yet profoundly impactful. Share this video with someone who needs it as much as you did. Maybe with a friend who can't let go of a past relationship, trapped in the pain of attachment, still believing happiness depends on something external, or with someone who hasn't discovered their own power or realized the strength within them. By sharing knowledge and expanding these ideas, we help more people awaken, more souls find their path, and more lives undergo true transformation. Think about it. How many people do you know who are struggling right now? How many feel lost, burdened by their past, unsure of how to move forward? Imagine if just one message, insight, or new perspective could break the invisible chain holding them back. You have the power to be the catalyst for that change. You can light the way for someone else. Leave a comment below and tell me what part of this message impacted you the most. What did you take away from this? What will you do today to start your journey of detachment and true liberation? Your words might inspire others. Your reflections could be exactly what someone else needs to read right now. You never know whose life you could touch with your thoughts and your own journey of growth and healing. If you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so now. Activate the notification bell so you don't miss any content. Together, we're building something bigger than ourselves, a conscious community of souls eager to grow and minds ready to advance. The world needs more people who dare to live authentically, who are willing to release what no longer serves them, and who choose freedom over fear. Today, you have the chance to be one of them, so do it. Don't wait any longer. Take that first step toward your transformation, because the change you're seeking outside has always been within you. You are not broken or incomplete, and you don't need fixing. You just need to remember who you truly are, free, whole, and capable of creating the life you deserve. Thank you for being part of this community, for listening, sharing, and growing. I'll see you in the next video, and remember, true love begins when you learn to choose yourself first.